Okay, we're going to solder some speaker wire. This is 18 gauge speaker wire. 18 gauge is one of the most common ones. 14, 16, or 18. This is common for car stereos, for home speakers. I'll show you what we're going to do. We're going to split the ends up. We're going to take about a ½ inch of this coating off with these strippers right here. After that, we want to twist the wire with our finger and our thumb so it doesn't fray. I'll take the other end of the wire, about a ½ inch again. Twist them. We're going to combine these two together. I usually take it like a cross or an X. With my fingers, I just wrap them around like so they're snug. Do the same over here. Now what we're going to do is grab the solder gun. Try to keep this so it doesn't move. Anyways, we take the solder gun and depress it. I'm going to put some weight on this. I'll put my phone on it perhaps. There we go. You want to touch the wire with the tip while this is plugged in right here, or pushed in rather. And it's going to start to smoke a little. It'll take about 20 seconds. And then what you do is you touch your solder to the wire and it's just going to melt. That's it. Then we go to the next one. About 15-20 seconds. It's already hot now, so we're probably going to be good. I'm going to touch my solder to it, and the solder is just going to do its place. It's just going to melt right on there. And I'll let go of the button here. Let that cool off for a second. While that one's cooling off, we're going to do another speaker wire. This one's about 20 gauge or 22 gauge. It's a lot thinner. This would be maybe for a small set of speakers, or not a long distance being traveled from the unit to the speaker. Again, I'm going to strip about a ½ inch off. This one has a red with a white wire with a red stripe, and then a solid white. I'll just keep them consistent and take the red stripes, again, like a cross, twist it. Same on this one. Now this should heat up a lot quicker, just because it's thinner. So we might only need about 8-9 seconds. You always want to go right on the tip. And then all you gotta do is just touch it, and it's soldered together. Solder is like weld. It's almost like welding the wire together. Good blow on it. This is a much stronger. It's definitely the method to do it. You can use butt connectors like these, and these work fine. I would imagine a lot of people use these. I've used these myself. But if you're ever able to, or twist caps, the method of choice would be solder, because you're just melted the wire together. This is not coming apart. Now what I do is I use 3M electrical tape. I like spending the extra money on 3M. It sticks better, it wears better, and it's more permeable. It's definitely a better tape. I'll take off a few inches, and I'll start about an inch or so below the solder, and I'll wrap it up on an angle, and I'll pull when I can. Pull tight. The electrical tape keeps the connections from touching. Again, I'm going to pull another 3 or so inches off below the solder joint. Get a nice bend upwards on an angle. Pulling and stretching. There we go. Solid as can be. It's the same idea on the smaller one. I might do a video upcoming. I don't have any. I was going to do it on these wires, but there's something else which I like using, which is heat shrink. Heat shrink is a plastic tubing, and comes in various sizes. You would use a size just a bigger than this wire, and you slide it on. We did our soldering here, or it's just saying this one here. Then we take the plastic piece about 3 inches long, and it's hollow, and we'd run it over this. You take a lighter underneath it, and it just melts it, so it kind of looks like almost like this as well. I'll do another video on heat shrink. Because all it does is it just seals up the solder ends so that it doesn't get contaminated or water or anything. And I'm just pulling and stretching. It's real simple. There we go. And then lastly, this is a little project I just wanted to save for last. This is a plastic key for at work. We have a disposable paper towel dispenser, and we keep losing the keys because you're small, so keep having to replace them. So I figured I'd solder around a thicker wire. This one's looks like 14 gauge. So I'm just going to put this through the hole here. And I thought I'd solder it so that this way it's large enough where maybe it won't get lost just quick. And again, I'm going to take about a 1/2 inch off of the plastic. I'm then going to take this and do exactly as the previous wires. Now this one might take about 25 seconds to heat up just because it is a thicker wire, and I use my phone there for leverage. Again, I'll take my weller, I'll hold down the button, and I'm actually going to press this for now. This again may take about 25 seconds just because it is a thicker wire. You'll know when it's hot enough because as soon as you touch the solder, it's just going to melt. There we go. See it melting? I'm just touching it to the wire, and it just melts. And you let go of it. This weller I looked as of August 2022. These are about $45. This is the Weller 9400. That's on Amazon. I like it. I like the tips the way they are. If you have one of these, and after several uses it doesn't get hot as quick, comes with this Allen wrench, and what you want to do is you tighten these little bolts here. There we go. You just snug them. They come loose from the heat. And the difference is when normally it would take 15-20 seconds, if it starts taking 25 and 30 seconds to get it hot, just make sure those are tight, and then you'll go right back down to the normal heat time. So I'll take my tape here, and I'll cover this up. It's kind of a homemade chain that won't come off unless they cut the wire. So hopefully our little plastic paper towel dispenser key now won't get lost. We could hang it up somewhere. Thanks for watching. More to come.